Let's establish some very important truths about ourselves and about what we heard and what we have. Very important. We've got to establish some truths. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." You see, it was God I was talking about in that scripture. It was God I was saying that my people perish not because the enemy was so powerful that he overcame them, but the very reason why they perished was because of ignorance. So which means ignorance can actually make somebody to perish, and that is very, very important. Like, if we look back into the history and then we see people that have had problems, they've been overcome by their enemies, it's because of one thing: ignorance, because they lack knowledge. So of course you can't know everything, right? Nobody's gonna be like an island of knowledge, but the point is there's just some very vital truths that we must know, especially as Africans when we are dealing with this kind of issues. Because looking retrospectively, looking to our history and seeing what have happened over the years, like decades of years and centuries, we see that the colonial agents, they've overpowered our forefathers, our ancestors. They overwhelmed them, they overpowered them, they outwitted them, and that was why they were able to colonize them, and even up to now still colonizing us. You see, so if we are gonna come and say we're going to overcome these demons and bring them to justice, that means we have to operate at a different level. It means we need to understand some things that our forefathers in those days did not understand, and that's extremely important. When I looked at the history, I actually studied a lot of biographies of some of our forefathers, especially those that were leaders and they were assassinated or eliminated by this evil West. You see, by these colonial demons. Many of them that were eliminated because simply they want to take the control of their economy, of their resources, of their land. They no longer want to be under the oppression and colonization of these demons, but they were eliminated. Some of them, they employ different strategies, like maybe leaning towards the Soviet Union, expecting Soviet Union to save them, or just trying to do something different. But all of the strategies they tried to use were outsmarted by their enemies. So if we are going to come in now and say we're going to overcome these demons, we have to do something different. We have to understand something that our parents did not understand, and that's where I'm going. That first of all, we've got to have certain knowledge. And what is the first category that I'm going to talk about is the knowledge of who we are and what we have. This is going to be like a series where we're going to talk about a lot of all these things, to really engage some very important knowledge in dealing with these evil agents. Because we need to just know, you see, when you are in a warfare, I think it's now should be clear to many of us that it is with no iota of doubt that these demons, they are our enemies, and we've already declared war on them. You see, whether they know it or not, or whether they like it or not, we already declared war on them, because over the years, over centuries and centuries of years, this is what they've been doing. Their forefathers, their ancestors, this is what they've been doing to us, and even they, the current one, have continued on the path of their forefathers. So they are not even going to change. So don't even want to say, oh, they're going to change or just be lenient with them or whatever. No, you don't. If you're at the battlefield, you want to be lenient with your enemy is carrying gun and they want to gun you down, and then you're there. Just say you want to. They say on the battlefield, there's no mercy, because it's either you're gunned down or you gun down your enemy. So the point is, you are not going to. This is not a time of trying to say you want to show mercy or whatever. You strike your enemy before he or she strikes you. That is a strategy. You attack your enemy, you deal with your enemy before he attacks you. That's how you can win the battle. So now here's the point. So first of all, knowledge of who we are and what we have is very important. Now, when you look at the strategies that these guys have been devising, we're going to talk about all of that. The strategies that they've been devising to overpower and overcome our forefathers. We're going to analyze all of that. Now, let's start first of all with ourselves. You see, in this couple of days, I've maybe talked about like we getting to really know that we are not powerless, that we are not hopeless or helpless, and we don't have to depend on anybody, any external force or any external agent to help us or to save us. We have all it takes to deal with these demons, and we're gonna deal with them. We have all it takes. We don't need to look for Russia or look for China or whatever we don't have to look for nobody. We can deal with these demons, up front. So we don't need any help from anybody. If they come, let them come, but not on any conditions. We are not begging for any help. Now, here is the thing. First of all, knowledge of who we are. Who are we as Africans? It is very important, extremely important that we know this. And for many of us, we just think, okay, oh yeah, we're just there. We're just like any other person in the world. We're just like any other humans in the world. You see, one of the greatest mistakes that you can make in life is to think you are the same as every other person. Is to always compare yourself with other people, because you're not. Forget about this trash that these guys are telling you, like, oh, everybody's the same in the world. Why do you think you're different? Oh, don't think high of yourself. That you think you're different doesn't mean you think high of yourself, because they're two different things. That you're different means that you're unique, and so there's something unique about you. There's something different about you. There's something that you have that other people do not have. Very important. And so your approach to life, what you do, it's different, and this is very glaring. You see. Because when these guys come and tell like, oh, everybody's the same, oh, we are not different, it is part of their manipulative strategies to make sure they put you under their control and manipulation. Because what happens when you go to the border and you're traveling, then they suddenly realize that you're unique, you're different, then they ask for your identity. They ask for your thumbprint, they ask for your retina, they ask for your, your retina print, all these things that make you unique as a person. So when they want to exploit you, they tell you you're different, you're unique. But when they also want to, control you or manipulate you, they say, oh, you are the same with every other person. Why do you think you're different? Everybody's the same. Then they tell you you're the same with every other person. But when they want to exploit you, why did they ask for your thumbprint? Because they know that you're different. You see, how many have you seen two people having the same thumbprints in the entire world? Have you seen two people? The physical thing that you see, it is an expression of what is inside, of what is unique about you. That means everybody is unique, and you've got to understand that. So now here's what I'm saying. So when we talk about us as Africans, there's something that makes us unique and different from other races in the world. And this is something that these other guys have been taking advantage of over the years, and they've not allowed us to realize and tell us, oh, everybody's the same, oh, we are all the same. So they want to push us to their league to keep competing with them at their own level, not allowing us to make ourselves different and even express our difference, so that can be our whole strength. Because your difference will always be your strength. It will always be what makes you different from others. And so that is what you can take advantage of to leverage the opportunity that you have. You see that? But these demons, these manipulators will tell you, oh no, don't talk about our differences. Oh, we are the same. Oh, everybody is the same. Who told you we are the same? But when you want to exploit us, you suddenly realize that we're different. When you want to discriminate, you suddenly realize that we're different. You look at our skin color, you say, oh, this one is black. Oh, then they automatically in their mind think that, oh, this one's got nothing to offer. So in their mind, they can see the difference. It's so clear. Blind demons. They can see that it's so clear that you're different. You see? But when they want to manipulate you, they say, oh, we are all the same. Don't talk about racism. Don't talk about discrimination. Oh, everybody is the same. We are all the same. You see? But we are not going to fall into that trap. We're not going to fall into that evil manipulation. Now, here's the point. See, you must embrace your identity as an African. This is extremely important. You must embrace your identity as an African. And what that means is what I'm going to explain very well for every one of us as Africans to understand that we are different and unique in the world. And we must capitalize on our differences and our strengths, because it is in that differences that we express our strengths. And that is what these guys don't want us to know. So now here's the point. For the fact that you're an African, you have this kind of unique skin complexion. You see, what you see in the physical is an expression. It is an expression of the reality that is inside of you. What you see in the physical, like as you're looking at me now, then you see, oh, this man, he has a dark, black or chocolate skin color. What you're seeing physically on me right now, it is an expression. It is an expression of the reality that is inside. And what is the reality inside? The reality inside is the fact that I am also unique. I am also different from say, a white guy, inside, in terms of my brain structure, you see, which is the part that we're going to dive in even more to see our uniqueness as Africans. You see, like many things that we do, many of the behaviors that we have, many of the expressions that we give, many of the abilities that we have, many of the, performance, many of the things that we do actually come from our brain capacity. See, I'm going to show you how our brain is so unique from any other brain in the world. That's the melanin on your skin is also in your brain, and it's serving some very important functions that I'm going to show you. So now here's the point. I'm saying that as Africans, we must embrace our unique identity. This must not be a liability. It's rather an asset. It is a blessing in disguise for us. But many of us don't know it. So we're going to talk about all of that for us to understand that our strength is our strength. And what makes us different from others is actually our strength. And we must capitalize on that. Extremely important. Now, that is like the first part one. Now, the part two of this, like knowing what we are as Africans, our identity, and then what we have. So when we know what we have, we also want to know what we have, because that is also what we can leverage and make use of on the battlefield. Yes, because you see, the Creator is so wise that for every human being, on earth, He has given us strength and power to dominate the earth. He has given us strength and power to dominate the earth. And that strength and power, they are expressed in different ways. For example, somebody who is like maybe a white guy, let's look at two guys, a white and a black guy, okay? A white guy, maybe his own strength is in, for example, maybe using his mind, his mental capacity to build weapons. Okay, maybe his own strength is to build physical weapons, but the black guy, his own strength might be to build spiritual weapons, to engage spiritual weapons. You see, one strength might be to build, for example, medicine that people use. You understand? Medicine that people use. Like maybe if somebody has a headache, you see, one might have the gift to make medicine that somebody can use to cure that, you see, to cure that headache. But another person might have the gift that his own gift is the gift of healing. You see that? So they can both achieve the same results, but through different pathways, And that's very important. So now here's the thing. If you have seen things that many of us have been good at, but then, like I've mentioned before, you see, your enemy will come and demonize your strength and they capitalize on your weakness. That's what every enemy does, to make sure they demonize your strength and capitalize on your weakness. Now, for many of us Africans, we know that, okay, right now on our continent, how many weapon manufacturing companies or industry do we have on our continent? If we say you want to go by physical weapons, okay, let's go physical, let's go fight these guys. How many African countries can stand shoulder to shoulder with these guys when it comes to physical weapons? Is that not how they overpower our forefathers, and ancestors? They use their physical weapons to overpower them. But what about other forms of weapons? Because that is what we have. Exactly. Oh, some have said, oh, but are you not saying that we should not go and build physical weapons? Are you saying we should not have, physical armament? We should not build military might? Is that what you're saying? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you don't go compete with these guys on that physical level. Very important, and we must capitalize on our own strengths. I'm not saying you should not. Of course, we know there are many of us. As a matter of fact, they are very good in building physical weapons, even as Africans. We know it's just because we have a leadership problem, and many of our African politicians, they have become strict to this West. So they just basically, follow their bidding and then they don't do the right thing. So yeah, we can actually build strong military strength. I believe that we can build very, strong, military armament. I believe that. But what I'm saying is, more importantly, even what we are doing now is the fact that Africans are stronger spiritually, and that's what we must capitalize on. I can give you many statistics that show that Africans are strong spiritually. Look around the world and see people that are making impact globally when it comes to spiritual or religious, aspects. They're Africans. I tell you that. They're Africans. Africans are good when it comes to religious activities, like say Christianity, for example. Africa has the highest number of Christians in the world. Imagine that. Even when it comes to Islam was from the Arabs, from the Middle East. Now, the way Africans have taken this religion, now you think Islam was born in Africa. You see, and all this religion is not like maybe it's a problem. It just shows one thing, like how we are so deep spiritually. Because yeah, we may talk about religion, but even more importantly is our spirituality. It is our spirituality, because that establishes the fact that we really believe in God. We don't have any problem believing in God or supernatural being. And we believe in miracles, we believe in faith, we believe in hope, we believe in things that are supernatural, miracles. And that is very important. Now, here's the point. So when you look at us as a people, and we are fighting a battle that is not just physical, but also spiritual. Because as a matter of fact, if we want to overcome these guys, first of all, you must go beyond their capacity. You must go beyond what they have. You must go beyond what they have. How many years is it going to take us for us to build physical weapons? Think about it. If we say, okay, we want to fight these guys and clamp them down and destroy their evil tactics on Africa, how many years will it take you to build weapons? How many years will it take you to build weapons? And who will even going to give you the support to do all that? But guess what? We have something even higher and more effective than building physical weapons. And that's what we need to capitalize on. Because that is our strength as a people, as a continent, that every African in the entire world, look, I have seen that any African in the world, whether you're on the continent, outside the continent, that is one thing that makes us unique as a people. If you have this skin on you, if you have this skin, you're of African descent, I tell you that That is part of what makes you unique as an African. You are highly spiritual. You connect to the supernatural. The fact that we were the cradle of humanity, we were first the set of humans that lived on earth, makes us have direct connection to the supernatural realm and powers. So we can actually tap into that supernatural power, into that supernatural authority, and control things and subdue things. So in dealing with these demons in the West that are vowed to keep colonizing Africa, in dealing with these guys, we're not going to use physical weapons. Yeah, you can go build weapons, like I said, but more importantly is we're going to capitalize on what we have. Because think about it, like I mentioned earlier, our forefathers, they've actually tried all these things and it didn't work. They were still overpowered because these guys have better weapons. Exactly. So we're not going to compete with them on that level. It will be foolishness for us to do the same thing that our forefathers did that made them to be defeated. You see that? Many of them were assassinated, they were eliminated because they were not strong when it comes to these guys. I mean, like, it's only be foolish for anyone to think that you can compete with these guys on that level because, I mean, like I mentioned, how long will it take you to build all these things? And how many do you have? If you say you lean on maybe Russia or China, they can't give you all of the weapons that they have, even if you're going to buy from them, you see. And when you're competing at this level, there's always one that will outsmart the other one. So it's like 50-50 thing. So it's not even sure. So we'd rather go for more certain, more effective, and more even, easy way to go about it. And that is we capitalizing on what we have as a people. So talking about this spiritual strength, you see, this spiritual power and authority that we have as a people, is that we must go all out to strike these enemies where it is heard. We go strike them where it is heard. I said everything that any human being does on earth actually comes from one thing: their thoughts. You see, all the assassinations, all the evil plans that they've executed on Africa actually came from their minds. It didn't come from nowhere. It came from their thoughts. Now, thoughts come from the mind, which can be from the conscious mind or the subconscious mind. You see, so now we want to strike those thoughts and seize the thoughts in their minds, so that even as they're conceiving those evil thoughts in their minds, they are being destabilized. We are shutting down their brain cells. We're clamping them. So before they even think of executing any evil plan, we've already destroyed the evil plans in their minds. And we're stepping further to even bring disunity and discord and misunderstanding in their midst. You see, because these guys, they go through a lot of processes before they execute the evil plans. So why don't we just go and attack every step of the way that they are planning those evil plans? You see, before they execute, we already strike them and, dealt with them. Exactly. That is exactly what we need to do. And that is we putting our attention to this. Every Christian in the world, every African Christian, African Muslim, wherever you are, whatever you believe in, I don't care. I just want you to put your mind on this and release that word of power on these demons, on these enemies of Africa, that every evil strategy they've put together, every evil plan, evil agenda they have for Africa, we are destroying all of them. We are nullifying all of them, all of their evil plans. We are destroying them. We are destroying all of their evil plans. All the evil plans they have for Africa, we are destroying them. We can see some things happening already. I tell you this, these things are working. When we release the word of power in our mouth, they are working. They are working hard. I tell you, on these guys, they're working on their minds. They're working on their thoughts. You release this word of power and you see results. See these guys, they are confused in their midst now. Many of them are confused. They're having misunderstanding. We are turning their back against each other. Let them start fighting themselves. There must not be understanding in their midst anymore. They must not agree on anything anymore. There must always be disunity. There must always be discord. There must always be misunderstanding in their midst. They must not be settled again. Let's give them problems that will get them busy. Since they are demons, since they are agents of darkness, and they don't want Africa to be at rest. Let's give them work to do. Let's give them jobs to do. These demons. Let's give them jobs to do. So, by the power of our words, we are releasing those missiles. We are releasing those weapons to destroy them and throw bomb in their midst. Let's throw bomb in their camp. Let them fight themselves. Let them fight these demons so that they get their hands off Africa. When we get them busy with rubbish things, with things that are not relevant to us, then they will not even have time for Africa anymore. Yes, let's bring discord in their midst, because every step that they have mapped out to keep us in troubles, to keep bringing wars and conflicts to our continent, we shatter all those plans, we destroy all of those plans. Because when you look at what is happening on our continent, you see so many things, so many evil that these guys are doing. These organized criminals, so many evil they are doing on our continent. Bringing drugs, human trafficking, doing so many evil on our continent. Corruption. See how they are using the politicians, our politicians, to be perpetuating all manner of evil. But we say, hand has come to this. Their time is up. These demons, their time is up. And we are launching massive attack in their camp. That's everyone that has hand in colonizing Africa, in bringing wars and problems and poverty and underdevelopment to our continent. We are declaring war on them, and we are decreeing curse on them and their generations. They must never be at rest. They must never be at rest. And all the evil plans they have for Africa, we are shutting them down. We are destroying all of their evil plans. We're destroying all of their evil plans. That no weapon fashioned against us shall prosper. No demonic plans, no demonic agenda on Africa shall prosper. We put all of them to null. We nullify all of their plans, because Africa is on its path of progress and development, and nothing can stop us. Please like and share this video. This is very important. We're not joking around with these guys. I've said it, and I tell you that we are seeing massive results. See what is happening with some of these guys. I tell you this thing is working. You might not know it, but you just start seeing results. This thing is working massively. I tell you this. Very important. Let's keep releasing those words of power, because that matters a lot. It matters a lot. I tell you, it matters a lot. Let's keep releasing those words of power, and we're going to see results, massive results with these guys. They think we're joking, but it will be a big shock to them and their generations. Africa is on its path of progress and development, and nothing can stop us. Please like and share this video. Let's spread the word, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.